My name is Duncan, and I'm one half of Astronaut Studios. We're a two-person dev team who've been working on our first game, Wastelander, for a couple years now. I'm going to give you a brief rundown of the game, play a tutorial, play a beginner game, give you a few tips and tricks, and show you what the game's all about. Enjoy! To start off, Wastelander is a minimalist roguelike turn-based strategy game. It's pretty easy to pick up, but very difficult to master on the higher difficulty levels, and there are quite a few ways to scale the difficulty to a very high level. So to avoid rambling through a big list of features, I'll just jump right into it and show you what the game's all about. As you can see, there are a few different game modes. I'll explain more about these a little bit later on and give you a brief rundown of each mode, but for now, I'll just jump right into a tutorial. Starting right off, you are stranded on an alien planet that is periodically ravaged by storms. Your goal is to have all ruins connected before you run out of turns. Right off the bat, it's going to tell you to use your scan ability. Scanning is really important at all game modes and all difficulties because it gives you vision of what's around you. You're going to be able to find resources, you're going to be able to find supply drops, you're going to be able to find alien relics. All kinds of things can be revealed by scanning, so you want to be scanning as much as you possibly can. Let's scan some tiles over here and then move on to the next step of the tutorial. This step is going to tell us to connect the disconnected windmill near our base. Now that wind turbine is not connected to our base because it has no continuous connection via building adjacency. So let's build a windmill, connect that up, and then move on to the next step. This step is explaining that there's a storm coming. Storms are a key component to Wastelander. Every 5 turns, a storm will hit the map, and all marked tiles will have their unprotected buildings destroyed. Protected tiles can't be hit by storms, so you really want to be defending your tiles to be trying to lose as few buildings as possible. Now we'll be required to build additional wind turbines. More wind turbines will give us more energy income, which will allow us to operate an excavator, which will give us more metal income. That will allow us to expand our economy overall. An excavator costs 10 energy per turn to operate, and we only have 8. Don't worry, you can operate on negative income, but if you totally run out of energy, your excavator will shut down and stop producing. But you build a few more wind turbines, and then your excavator's running again, so no big deal. And look at that, we've connected to a relic. Relics are alien buildings that you can find scattered throughout the map. They give you special abilities that might help you expand your base more efficiently, defend buildings, generate items. They have all kinds of interesting effects and all kinds of interesting abilities. Our next step is going to be to collect the supply drop. Supply drops are really your bread and butter. They can give you items, they can give you blueprints, which are reusable buildings. They can give you deployments, which are one-off buildings but are very powerful. Lots of things you can get from supply drops, and they have different interactions with other parts of the game as well. So you want to be collecting supply drops as you can find them. These are really one of the core gameplay mechanics. You should definitely be leveraging supply drops throughout your games. We're going to take the dynamite from this one to help us clear mountains a little bit easier, and then we'll move on to our final objective for the tutorial, which is to connect to a ruin. Ruins are your core objective for a standard game of Wastelander. Ruins will give you augments, which are global map mods that will change the way you play your game as you go, and you also have to connect to all of the ruins in order to win a game. Now that we've connected to that ruin, the tutorial has unlocked our remaining buildings, so I'm just going to play through the rest of these turns real quick, and then I'll jump over into a normal game and show you guys the full gameplay. Quick skip, hop, and a jump through this gateway up to the next ruin, and there you have it. The tutorial's over. You're going to get a nice ending screen with your score, some stats, and a printable layout of your base so you can share with other people. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to jump over to a live playthrough of a beginner difficulty game where I'll explain a few more concepts, go through my thoughts in real time, and just show you a general impression of what the normal gameplay will be like. Alright, starting off, beginner mode. So, the first thing we want to do, zoom out, scan around and get vision. That's one of your most important steps here. You always want to be getting vision of the direction you're going to path in and also any potential resources you might see. It's really your bread and butter in Wastelander. Let's come down, get the supply drop. I think in this game we'll just go for... we better take the blueprint just in case. Blueprints are usually a safe bet. They can come in handy later if you get something that works well with them. Let's move up towards this ore. Starting off, you really want to just be getting vision and ore. Bolster your economy. Get your ore generation up, get your metal generation up so you can build more buildings every turn and do more every turn. You know, that's the most important part. Over here we see an alien shield, which is nice because it gives a good little shielded area. Really nice layout here. We got 2 ruins side by side, so that'll give us a couple augments to work with. I think starting off, I'll just build an excavator. My energy econ will be a little bit negative, but I can support it. It's fine. I can build that up slowly over the next few turns because I got a little bit of stored energy here. Let's dynamite. Work through. Grab that shield. That's a nice big shield area. Perfect. A node tile. So the node tile, build a windmill. Nodes give additional resource output, so that windmill will generate 2 per turn instead of 1. A few different options here. Hybrid storage is a triple storage deployment, so this is a one-off building that you can place. That's nice. You place for free, but you only get 1 of them. Blueprints are reusable. They have a cost, a flat cost, and sometimes a drain. So income is the drain or positive income of the building. Let's see, what do I want here? Cluster shield is really good if you need to defend a large base. On a small map like this, where I'm going to just run through, build small sections of base and run over to the ruins pretty quickly, I don't think it's that good. I think dynamite is the best here, just for clearing through mountains pretty quickly. Substandard materials is really good. Tunnels cost 2 less metal to build, but they explode on the next storm. But they also take the mountain with them, so that's pretty useful as a way to sort of get through mountains a little bit cheaper. Reducing the cost of your scan is also really good. It's a tough choice. I think I'll take substandard materials this game. I like to take that one now and then. Let's build down here. Grab this. Faulty wiring is excellent in a lot of scenarios. It turns all of your supply drops into basically like 3 tile horizontal bombs that destroy mountains. I think I'll take hab modulo because I actually want to show off a few of the additional supply options that we get. Now we've got our metal income up a little bit, and our turn here. Destroy a few of these. Let's really just focus on this area. So grass tiles are safe from storms, and they have special building types, whereas a scrap wall is only safe from a storm. There's no special buildings that require a scrap wall. And then over here we also have energy shields, which are just generated shields. A lot of times if you have a building that generates an energy shield, it costs energy. Scrap walls are like a free single tile shield. Let me see, keep scanning. Like I said earlier, vision's really important. You want to be sussing out resources, supply drops, relics. There's all kinds of things to find on the map, things that make every game different. Let's see, because I got that dynamite, I'll just go up this way. You can path over storm tiles with rails, or with anything. Anything can go on a storm tile, but you're just gonna have to defend it if it's more expensive. Rails are really good for just pathing across them because they only cost 1 metal, so it's okay to lose a rail here and there. Let's see. Shielded lava tiles extend their shield to all adjacent tiles, or retractable rails have their cost changed to 2 energy, but they're automatically marked by storm when constructed. I better go heat shield. Heat shield's a little bit safer. Retractable rails is a lot of fun though. There's things that let you cheaply protect rails in the game, so that's a fun one to use sometimes. Now see, these are marked by a storm. You can look down at these buttons here. These are pretty useful. If you click on this, it'll zoom in and cycle through all the storm marked tiles. If you're ever unsure which tiles are marked, like say on a bigger map, you got a lot of tiles that are marked, you can just cycle through them. Now from here, where are we going next? I don't want to forget about my items here. We got a couple scan drones. You start off with like a handful of base items. Now there's a nice relic. There's the terraformer. So I'm going to prep for that by building a water pump, a water tank. I'll do a little scan. And I'll build a few more wind turbines and then 1 battery on the next turn. Oh man, this sucks. I'm going to go over cap on energy, but that's fine. See, let those rails get destroyed. Whoops, actually I built 1 too many. That's fine. But I can go up here. I got 2 of these left. Yeah, I got 2 dynamites left, so let's go here. And in this scenario, I don't have anything that goes on there, so I'll build a platform, which is just a cover tile. It's basically just, it doesn't actually give you anything. It drains 1 energy, it's shielded, but it goes on any type of specialty tile. It can go on lava or ice, stuff like that. Now we have the terraformer, though. The terraformer is huge. It gives you terraform, which costs 6 energy and 6 water, but it can clear a mountain and turn it into grass. So just like that, we're moving on. Oh my god, every good every good blueprint, every good relic this map. Sometimes you get a map with just lucky drops. Timed explosives. This is just a cheap way to get through mountains. It's great. Honestly, costs a bit of energy and a bit of metal, but it explodes and destroys the mountain every storm. So we're just gonna carry on up here. We're gonna keep getting vision. Keep building up our energy econ here. We've got a storm coming up, so a disperser will just clear some of these storm tiles. It's not usually worth defending rails, but I just don't want to rebuild them. And now we try and find the most effective path up to this final ruin. Didn't lose anything that turn. We'll terraform up here. Oh, it's so convenient. Build another battery. I'm just building up my energy storage. Network navigator. This makes buildings on node tiles remote, which is useful. It means they don't need to be connected to your base, but they also won't provide connection, so you can't have like a remote tile way off here and have it actually start as a connection point, but it will just operate on its own, which is kind of nice. Let's grab another alien shield here. Oh, look, here's the gateway right at the end. That's too bad. Oh, it's over here. Oh, that would have been nice to have. Let's see, I think we're almost done here, so build one more wind turbine there. 4 turns left until the next storm. I think we can pretty much just build rails all the way up here. Blueprint, hydroelectric, doesn't really matter at this point because the game's almost over. Oh, can't get through there though. Let's build the timed explosives here, and there we go. There's a beginner mode game. Now that one's pretty easy because, yeah, it's just beginner mode. It's really to help people get a sense of the mechanics and how to path through a map and how to get vision and expand their econ, stuff like that. But if we go back out to the main menu here, we got a whole bunch of different game modes. So just in standard, there's beginner, normal, hard, insane. These all have different map sizes. Custom, you can just use the sliders basically. That'll get a 1,000 turn limit if you want, whatever. Going back to insane, once you've beaten an insane mode, you can unlock desolation levels, which are scaling difficulty mods. Every time you beat one level, you unlock the next level. And it just makes your maps harder and harder and harder and harder. They get really difficult. By the highest desolation level, like we probably only had a handful of people that could even beat the highest level. I've been stuck on level 7 for quite a while, and I'm one of the developers of the game, so I can't even beat the highest difficulty level of my own game. Slowly though, getting through it. So those are your standard game modes. Outside of that, we got a daily challenge, which is an insane mode map. It's a fixed seed that changes every day, and anybody can play it, and then you can compare your score against other people. There's a leaderboard for the daily, you know. It's a little competitive. You can share your map, you know, in our Discord server or whatever, and yeah, it's quite a bit of fun. Showing off your daily and comparing it against other people, seeing what they did different, stuff like that. So there's an insane mode map. You can see that's pretty big. It's got 9 ruins, quite a bit larger. You really have a chance to build up a base, generate your econ, develop your, you know, different types of infrastructure and stuff like that. And let's go back here one more time to look at our newest game mode, which is Endless. This just released last week, I think, or the week before. Time all kind of blurs together at this point. So if you start an Endless game, you'll see it's going to take a little while to load because these Endless maps are like absolutely enormous. And there's no turn limit. The goal is to repair your ship, not to connect all the ruins. I'll show you that. First, I'll show you just the size of the map. This thing is huge. We had to make some massive performance improvements to the game. It took like quite a while because the game wasn't really designed initially to run on a map this large. You can see there's a max number of ruins. There's no turn limit. Connecting to all the ruins won't end the game. And this game is all about just chill, building up your base. You don't need to stress about the game ending. You just have a good time, you know? And when you want to end the game, or just once you have enough resources, you can repair your ship and leave the planet, you know? It seems like 500 of each might not be that much, but let me tell you, it takes quite a while to build up that much storage capacity. There's a few additional buildings and stuff like that, blueprints that can help that out, that are specific to endless mode. So yeah, we're still taking feedback on this. We're making improvements. We're balancing it. Anything that people want to see in endless mode. It was a really requested feature for a long time, so we put quite a bit of effort into getting it ready. And yeah, those are our main game modes. We also have a lightweight map editor, stuff like that. Lots of things to play around with. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you got this far, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. The game's in early access right now, but we finished all of our main feature dev for that. We're just doing polish and final balancing and tuning and taking user feedback and stuff like that. And we're going to be launching from early access pretty soon. So, hey, if you want more updates, throw the game a wish list, or, you know, if you want to try it out now, you can grab a copy. We appreciate the support from everyone who's tried it so far, and we'll definitely keep developing and improving it as time goes on.